President Joe Biden is meeting families of American captives held in Gaza at the White House. 8 U.S. nationals are believed to still be held there. Hamas freed 4 Americans last month during a ceasefire brokered by Qatar and by Egypt. Well, our White House correspondent, Kimberly Halkett, is standing by. Kimberly, what can you tell us about this meeting and what they're saying, both the president and the families of the captives?
Yeah, we've just heard from the families, in fact. They just wrapped up that meeting, and about 250 meters from where I'm standing, the family members walked out and spoke to reporters. What we know about those 8 captives is that there are 7 men and 1 woman that are still being held. And what their family members are saying is that the meeting that was held with President Biden and the Secretary of State Antony Blinken was very encouraging. What the president told them is that, in fact, he is personally guaranteeing that he will continue and his administration will continue to look for their loved ones, that this is something that they are dedicated to. They will not lose sight of this, and they won't stop trying to bring them home. So this was something that they say that since October 7th, they have been in close coordination with members of the administration, whether it has been virtually or in person, and that there has been a lot of transparent communication. One of the family members said they are hoping for a Christmas miracle, and they also said that they hope that the media will continue to remember that these are individuals, they're real people, not numbers, and that what was most striking about this was, given the fact that the previous captives were released during a ceasefire, when asked by reporters if they were hopeful there would be another temporary ceasefire that might encourage the release of their own family members, they refused to answer that question, saying they wanted to keep those parts of the conversation with President Biden private.
Kimberly, I'd like to ask you about another meeting. It's taking place tomorrow. The U.S. National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, is going to Israel tomorrow. I wonder how that meeting's going to go and what message he's bringing in light of the criticism that we heard from the U.S. President Joe Biden just yesterday, and in light of the responses. They were defiant. We just talked about it with Hamda in Jerusalem, the responses from the Israeli government.
Probably not as cordial, if you will, given the fact that the U.S. president used some pretty strong language. Some would even argue accused Israel of war crimes, given the fact that he used the term indiscriminate killing of Palestinian civilians when he spoke on Tuesday of the targeting by the Israeli military of Palestinian civilians. Now, the Biden administration has since walked back those comments, the latest being from the national security spokesperson, John Kirby, when he has since said that the results are not commensurate with efforts to minimize civilian casualties. It appears that the Biden administration and Jake Sullivan in those meetings on Thursday and Friday with the Israeli war cabinet, with the prime minister as well as the president, is likely to be an extension of that cleanup. What the other message will be, though, is that once again, the United States is encouraging Israel to be more precise and more targeted in their military campaign. But make no mistake, they're not asking them in any way to move towards a ceasefire, because they believe that this would allow Hamas to retrofit and even allow for future attacks. A message, we should point out, that the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, will reiterate when he visits Israel on Monday.
Kimberly Halkett reporting from the White House there. Thank you very much, Kimberly.